Welcome, welcome everyone. I am Mr. Goldenbaum, and this is Supremacy 1914. Alright everyone, we are back on the 1914 European 5v5 map. Now it is day number 2, and we are currently ranked in the 3rd place spots, following the Ottoman Empire and France, which are both of our teammates. 4th place being held by our team as well. 5th, 6th by the other team, and we do have Italy holding the rear here with the 7th spot, followed by Sweden and Morocco. And then if we go even further down, it keeps resetting on us. We have the other team's 5th alliance member, the German Empire, sitting in 14th spot, and this keeps resetting on me with a total of 53 points. We had a lot that had transpired in our immediate neighborhood. We were able to successfully launch our attack on Munich, capture the territory, and that was nearing the end of the day for us, so we weren't really able to commit to any kind of further offensive actions, but we did sneak a single unit, infantry unit, forced marched over here to the Double Wood province, and we were able to sack it. And after sacking the province, we got a nice boost of wood and cash. But this province had a level 2 workshop that had an armored car under production. With oil being so scarce on this map, and we can take a look at the production, you have an armored car, and yes, it would have been nice to get this free armored car, get a nice bit of free iron and oil in terms of construction costs here. If we take a look at the buildings, just to build a level 1 workshop would have cost 500 oil, and most likely you want to get it to level 2. Otherwise, that car would have been sitting there for a while before the production would have completed. But that's an extra investment of 1,000 oil just to get a vehicle here, an armored car, mechanized unit for 1,000 oil. So we actually ended up going ahead and refunding that production. We may have gotten about 30-40% of the cost. It's always hard to tell because it'll just show up here as stalled, and it's not until you get actual production where it'll start to calculate how much time would be remaining and what the progress is overall. So we did take this double wood, and we also proceeded to take the coal here in Breslau. Our opponent, Germany, after realizing that his forces in Munich fell and he had lost his double wood province, actually started evacuating all of his soldiers to his capital in Berlin. So our allies here in France were able to take 3 provinces plus this double coal. Now I do see an armored car being produced. I'm not sure if this was an existing production. I do see a level 1 workshop here, or if this was a new armored car. I know France certainly could use the additional armored cars. They are surrounded for the most part on all sides. He is moving north to take an additional gas province over here from Germany. So Germany, as part of his retreat over to Berlin, had a rather large army here in this region of Saxony, I assume, if you're looking at an actual map. And most of our forces retired here to Prague for the rest of the day so we could get that nice morale boost for the day ticks. So our soldiers really weren't sitting in these 25% morale provinces, as you can see here. With our soldiers being here and him having a fortification here, 50,000 troops here, a ton of troops here, this would have been extremely difficult to assault with a stack of, we didn't have 100,000 at the time. We did merge some of our forces. Should he have remained there, he could have bought himself additional time, but all of his troops retreated. And by the time we had amassed a large enough army that would have been able to challenge that stack of 30,000, we finished our deployment of Orhan. So we sent Orhan out there really quick, plus an armored car, which is fine, to take over this province. And we were actually able to get a half-built fortification, and I don't believe it'll show me how much protection would be offered with a 50%, exactly 50% constructed fortification. But if we did station some units there, it would tell us. But if we do need this fortification, we will be able to build it. Now, German Empire, Berlin, 71,000 troops. We have what I assume to be anywhere between 10, 20, 30,000 troops. I can't recall exactly what the counts were, but these troops are traveling back to Berlin. We have Swedish forces coming in from Sweden with a stack of 1, 2, 3, 4 armies. So I could see this totaling 40,000 troops altogether, reinforcing Berlin. And we have another 5 stacks of 10,000 infantry coming from Great Britain. Now, all in all, we can see that they have at least 121,000 troops, and that's not counting these right here. We know this is a 10,000 stack. We know this is more, at least 10,000 or more. So this army could easily be 150, 160,000. What's interesting to note is all of the British forces and the German forces are marching to Berlin. They're not moving over to Hanover, which may indicate that they would be going after Cologne, going after France, Frankfurt, or going after some of our other territories, and maybe we would want to fortify this region. No, they're going straight to Berlin. We'll have to see if they are planning to do a last stand in the capital, or if they are going to go on the counterattack and potentially either go for Breslau, thinking that this is a weak point in our defense, and it certainly is at the moment, or going after some of the other Russian territory in the north here. A quick little recap. I think Russia came in with a stack of 30,000. He was able to take out a stack of 10,000 troops here in Königsberg, took the fortification. It's down to 13 out of 50, but if he ever does need to repair it, that's certainly a nice starting point. And then he did go ahead and take the second grain province, and he is now building the fortification. But we will have to see where all these troops are going. What's nice is that we still have plenty of time left for the end of the day for us. Most of the alliance here is playing out of Europe, so we'll see if they make any decisions here. If they don't make any moves before the end of the day, in our position, we may split our troops to defend this region. We may consolidate them. We may build some fortifications. It's all just going to depend on what actions and moves Germany takes. Yes, they'll have a big army here, and there is additional soldiers coming, but we already have a stack of 104,000. We have Fiona over here not deploying infantry. Let's hit that a second time. All right, great. We have reinforcements coming here in the south. We have additional units here, 13,000? I'm actually going to send all of them over to Prague. We do have just a 1 stack here just to show Berlin that we are in this area. And this stack here is positioned in such a way where the view range of an infantry unit would not allow them to see how many soldiers are sitting in the stack. What I would love for them to do is initiate an attack over here in one of our 2 territories. We can quickly maneuver our soldiers here, let's say 2 hours or so. We're not that far away. Build a little bit of a mortification, take a good trade, and if they're filing in here one by one, it would be an absolute slaughter. So we'll see what these guys decide to do. There is also 3 different players here in this area, which means they can attack at 3 different times, 3 different directions. But that also means that their attacks may not really be timed together that well. A little too many troops here to attack Berlin, but I think overall we're in pretty good shape, guys. We do have our barracks, which have just completed. Let's go ahead and start producing some cavalry units. It's 1 there, and then our capital in Vienna. Let's get another cavalry unit going. We don't have access to premium, so we really can't queue a lot of this up, but we have been able to stockpile a decent amount of fish and grain just through our production. We have the double grain, we have a few grain provinces, and then we do have a single fish province. Mostly materials that we were able to conquer off of Germany. We do have the 1 grain and 1 coal. I really want this coal province, but we should be able to translate a lot of this food into additional cavalry, which day 2, we spawned in Allenby. He will be extremely helpful in leading any kind of a counterattack, and if we do make it to day 3, which we will, but once we make it to day 3, we'll have access to Lawrence, which he's got a decent amount of attack, good amount of hit points. He's just kind of like a mini tank in this situation, and I would much rather have him leading our forces opposed to Allenby, as our Allenby is only level 1. It gives a slight boost to cavalry. I would have loved to have had him at least a level 4, get an additional cavalry unit, which would have been huge. Or even level 6 here and get a little bit of an extra movement speed for the whole army. Those could have been game-changing, but our plan right now is we have Fiona, we have Orhan. Orhan is probably going to be our first unit, followed by Hank, to kind of sacrifice themselves if we need to free up some of our hero cap. We will go for Lawrence of Arabia as our 5th hero, but once we start approaching day 6, we will want to swap out one of these guys to get this ranged units, and we would be able to start picking apart the capital in here in Berlin until we're able to start producing our own artillery pieces and have a longer range, have a motorized unit with a longer range, more hit points that'll be able to do some solid damage. But for the time being, Tatiana's going to work as a great ranged unit. Coming up here through the other days, I would probably say the submarine guy, the new hero, the Otto Hersing that was recently made available, is going to be huge, especially if you take a look at our territory. We don't really have a coastline. It's very difficult to invest in any kind of a navy. We are building a harbor here on the coast to get access to more of this coal, which will kind of help us control some of our deficits as we continue to expand our production in our double material provinces, as well as our double food province and a double coal province if we are able to conquer that. We also have the artillery hero, which will be very, very nice. We have him at level 4, so unfortunately we don't get that additional artillery unit, but we're over here level 4 in the low, in the minor leagues. He's going to be nice, an additional ranged unit. We did decide to skip Johan here, Aardvark, however you pronounce his name. So he's a very situational hero. If you look at his passive bonuses here, his trench lines would provide a nice 20% defensive damage boost, whereas if I was a country like France, I totally would have invested in two trench networks to kind of help hold the line in the south, potentially one in the east. The amount of infantry the game takes into account when dealing damage is capped at 50. You know, you have a certain amount of units do full damage and then it gradually decreases to 50. This 20% would make a huge difference. And if I got him to level 5, that 10% infantry hit point boost as well would have been nice. And hey, if you guys made it this far, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you all on the next one.